Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Unfulfilled with Denise and
Denise.
Today's episode is...
Should you test it out before marriage? We have a special guest today. Wood, how you doing today?
I am doing lovely. How are you lovely ladies doing?
I am
Great. You know I'm about to mess with you on that name, right? Wood?
Hey, I'm used to it.
Okay, all right. I'm going to leave it at that. All right. So, yeah, the question is, what do you think? Should you test it out first before marriage?
I mean, absolutely. I think the days of the traditional marriages that our parents had are long gone. And me being a 40-something-year-old man, it's not like it's my first time. You know what you like, and if that person, not saying, the sex is a deal breaker, but you got to be on the same wavelength, you don't want to get down that road and say sex is a reason that we
couldn't make it,
dissolve this marriage. So yeah,
especially when it's new too, because
absolutely.
Eventually as time goes by,
you learn each other.
Sex might be an issue later, but that could be through medical or something like that. But you with that person long enough that it doesn't play a big significant role.
Exactly.
But in the beginning, you would like to know that you do have a connection and with intimacy and sex and stuff like
Absolutely. There's sexually attracted to someone and sexually compatible with someone. And they don't always cross the lines.
All right.
So
break it down.
So today's day and age, you have social media.
Right.
So people I know, hey, I'm guilty of it. I got a guys chat and we send each other IG models.
So that is real.
It is real.
Okay.
Absolutely. I know y'all
I thought
have
we
too.
just do it.
I
thought we just did it. Okay.
But you send it back and forth, and yeah, you look at it and you're like, wow, that is sexy. But it doesn't always cross over if given the opportunity to the other side.
Right.
Okay.
So,
And then now that could be more than sex too, because sometimes
Absolutely.
that's just the fact that people change the way they look. Sometimes you don't get the
Absolutely.
true look until after the fact.
Yeah.
We've done seen a lot of stories now where men
Right.
are very unhappy with the women because they find out that when they take all that makeup and stuff off and they see them and they're like, what
After
the
they
heck?
married.
Yeah, after they married,
Yeah.
right? Because sometimes
Yeah.
people say they never seen. I don't understand how you do that, but a lot of men say they ain't never seen a woman
And that's
without
something
makeup
that
and
should
stuff.
happen in the
I think you
dating
should take them to the
stage.
pool first.
What's
What's
amazing is
Yeah.
I dated this woman for probably about 8 months, and I never saw her without her wig on.
Really?
Really?
Huh.
Like, she would wear very heavy makeup. She'd be out and about, and we take a shower and take it off and everything. Take off her makeup and wash her face. Very beautiful. And I'm like, what are you hiding behind this? It's like, yo, if you want me to give all of me to you, you have to do the same
Right.
to me.
Right.
We've gone beyond that point. So everything else is there but this. And in the back of my head, it's something that I constantly, kept thinking about. So
Okay, it makes sense, and that's understandable. I like I said, I don't understand why we as women do that, because if you want someone and you're expected to be with somebody, especially with this topic saying, before marriage, that means you should have seen a lot of things with this
You're
person's
giving your
character
all
traits
to
and everything
someone.
before, because
Absolutely.
you're talking about marriage now, so you're like, okay, I should know how this person look. I should know a lot about this woman. Whether she has a fake butt, fake boobs, whatever it is, you should know, and it's up to that individual to accept that. If
That
you,
brings me
because some people don't want.
Some people do it because they're insecure about certain things.
But- So if you're insecure about something and you have inspiration, or maybe not inspiration, that might not be the correct word, but you have thoughts of marrying this person, it's like you got to take that leap to see if that person's willing to accept you. Because whether you do it now or then, how would you feel if, what's the movie? It might be a little bit beyond your years, but I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Yeah, I know, right? When she started taking all that stuff off. Yes.
Off, and it's like he hit a crossroads. You
right.
know what I mean? Like,
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They both hit deal breakers, and it was like, okay, what do we do now? So I just think that if you're gonna move towards marriage and that's your ultimate goal, then yes, you have to be upfront. This is who I am.
Yes,
Good, bad, everything.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree too. I don't think you should be hiding anything though, because eventually, like you said, eventually they're gonna find out. If you got 3 nipples, tell them shit. You got 3 nipples. What's the difference?
Mm-hmm.
Or they just don't care.
Right, but that gives them that option though to not care, because if a man, because at the end of the day, would it come down to me as a woman? But a man, I'm gonna want to know. If you tell, I ain't finna sit up there and be trying to figure out why you only got 1 testicle and you ain't tell me you only had 1. And you ain't tell me, because that might surprise me. I'm not saying it would be a problem, but I want to know what's your downfalls. What's going on with you. You know what I'm saying? If you know you got dye in your hair and then you eventually wash and you got a big ass bald spot, I want to know. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just being real. You should want to know, because this is the person you're talking about spending the rest of your life with.
That's true.
So, and once again, at the age I'm at now, I don't want to be involved with someone where our kinks are so far apart. It's not that, I'm not saying the threesomes and all that other stuff. It's like what you and I do one-on-one. Mm-hmm. Okay, if you're not willing to do that, but I'm willing to do everything that you want to do, so does that give me a free pass to go elsewhere, or should I suppress what I feel?
Now, would you think some people would feel that you're being more, you're basing everything off of sex before you marry, or is it because you're saying that is, because it's still part of a deal breaker still regardless, but do you think that people would think that you're putting too much emphasis into sex as far as that you have to have it before marriage? Because you would not marry them if the sex is not where you thought it was at. Like they say, some people say they can be taught. They can, learn stuff or be coached on how to do it. The thing is that are you willing to sacrifice that as far as, teaching that person a little bit more if you really like them for them or you care about them?
Absolutely.
Would sex be a deal breaker though?
No, I don't think it'll be a deal breaker. But if I'm trying to think of an analogy that I can equate it to, but long story short, if you think giving oral sex is ill and that's something I like, what do I do then? What am I to do then?
Yep, that's a good one.
Do I imagine it, or do I
get it from somewhere else?
Do I get it from somewhere
Right.
else? And then I'm wrong to get it from somewhere else because I'm married.
Right.
It's not an end all be all, but hell, you like to go shopping. I don't like to go shopping.
Right.
But you're gonna do it. Exactly, right.
And it's all could have been situated before y'all got married.
Before it happens.
Now for you, that's, like I said, you are a young breed over here. What do you feel? What do you think? Do you think it should be tested before marriage? I mean, like we're saying it's null and void now, where you can't, you shouldn't have to go the religious way no more. Like some people are religious and they feel that you should, before you marry, you should wait till you marry to have sex or whatever, right? Traditionally speaking, a lot of that has been kind of faded away over many of years, even with our parents. Let's just be real. A lot of us was born out of wedlock and stuff, but people still are trying to do it the right way. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think you still should test it out before marriage?
I don't see nothing wrong with it. I think you should, but again, to each his own. But I would try it out. Not saying that I would base my whole relationship on if the sex is good or not, but I want to know what I'm getting into. Do I need to teach him? Do I need to coach him? And we can process that as we go on, but my marriage wouldn't be based on the sex and if it's good or not.
Okay. That's understandable.
Yeah, that's, to hear that, it's very refreshing, because I think so many people put such an emphasis on sex where it's not that like life or death, but it is literally life or death.
Yeah.
When you think, you know what I mean? Like,
that's what I tell people, you know, like I said, I always say that pretty much in most of my episodes anyway. I always say, look here, don't mix the two up though. Sex is sex still, you know.
Right.
And if we start looking at that as the bigger picture of everything, it'll be a problem. But I agree with both of you guys. I would like to test it out too, because I might not be comfortable with that person. You know, what if you're too small? Or what if you're too big and I have to deal with that for a long period of time? You're talking about marriage. You know, do I want to be in, let's say for instance, too big, but I want to be in a certain type of pressure all the time? I feel a certain way every time we have sex. I'm not comfortable. And, you know, and then especially if you got, like he's saying, well, what if I like oral sex?
And you don't like you do
I might not want to do that to you because I'm uncomfortable with you, you know, when it comes down to the sex. So do I really want to deal with that for 10, 20 years down the line? You know what I'm saying? And then if you're too small, I'm just going to be real. That's a deal breaker for me. I'm sorry. It's a deal breaker. I'm just being honest. It is.
No,
I'm just being honest. Men have deal breakers.
That's real. It's real.
That's a deal breaker for me. And the reason why, I mean, if I wanted a dildo, I'll buy one for myself. I don't need a little bitty toy. And I'm just being honest. Some things you just want a certain average size. I mean, you ain't got to be huge, but I don't want something that's just, it's not compatible with me.
So, you know, you and I are closer in age than you are.
Right.
So, at this point, is sex a purpose or pleasure? I'm not having any more kids. I can't have any more kids.
So it's a pleasure for you.
So, it becomes a pleasure point.
Exactly.
Versus purpose.
Yeah,
you know,
for me,
if you're young and you're trying to start a family out, yeah, there's a purpose to do this.
Right.
We're trying to get to this avenue. I mean, hell, I can beat off into a sock and get it. You got this rose that can get you where you need to go, but is that what you want to do for the rest of your life?
I think that girl doing much better though. But hey, we sell them too, guys. Like I said, I'm gonna hook you up on whatever you need, no matter what. But but my thing is, you're correct. Like for me, it's a pleasure too. I'm too old. You ain't finna get no babies out of me. I'm sorry. I'm too old. Don't want no more.
You ain't getting none out of me right
grown now. There's no reason why I'm gonna start over. I don't care if I met the richest man in the world. He's talking about no, it's not happening. But it's pleasure now. It really is, right? We're not trying for all that.
Yeah. So I think as we get older and go through life, sex kind of flips. Right. Because when I was back then, it was hunching. I wasn't, you know. Can I curse on here?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Be free.
So back before I was fucking, I was hunching. You know, I'm just trying to get it wet and say that I did. You know, it didn't matter if I finished or anything. It's just the fact that I did.
Right.
And then as I got older and got my own place, that I could actually understand sex. I didn't have to rush it. I didn't have to worry about someone else catching me.
And that's, that's good to hear you say that, because I used to always wonder about that. Because as a girl, you know, and especially when I was younger, that's why I say girl, because that's past tense. We used to feel like that, like we didn't get no pleasure sometimes out of sex, but because we enjoyed the boy, we let them hump us, you know, and it was, the humping, well, half of it was humping, but half of it was just humping, because half of the time he wasn't doing nothing, and he ain't have no type of, he ain't did nothing, you ain't did nothing,
just at the surface,
it was just that you felt like you that's why I said you didn't know about sex back then, you know, you just thought you was doing something because that was your way to saying that you like this boy, and that person like you, but nothing was happening. Nothing really was happening until you got older and you start realizing that your body does all these amazing things with sex. And you're like, oh shit, I'm missing this. Yeah. This what happens when I, like, wow, this happened. It flows out of you, but it's a good feeling. You ain't, you know what I'm saying? So you start thinking differently, and it's like, what the hell? But when you didn't get that, you always wondered, like, did men feel that way too? Like, you know, was y'all really getting y'all's, or was it just a quick thing too, and y'all just kept moving around too? So it's good to hear that from a guy.
Back then it was just to say that I was fucking.
Yeah.
But
To get the cool point.
yeah, to get the cool points. I wasn't really fucking. I was just.
You ain't even
I
bust no
wasn't even
cherry.
scratching the
You ain't even bust a cherry.
Didn't even know what you was doing.
I didn't know what I was doing because I didn't have time to feel it out. You know what I mean? Okay, I know mom normally gets home at 7.
I gotta do what I gotta do before that.
It's 3:30 now. What if she get off early? What if this? You know now.
Right.
And maybe I say this in the wrong way to some young men that I try to mentor. You know, not necessarily 18 to 21, but 25 years old, get your own place.
Yeah.
So you can actually understand what sex is.
Right.
You're not embarrassed to get up to go grab a washcloth to wash yourself off after.
Or wipe her off too.
Or wipe her off too. Yeah. Like there's no embarrassment then. You're in your own place. Like once you get to that point, you can actually enjoy sex and all that it has to offer. You can figure out what triggers you. You have time to figure it out. Hey, am I into toys? Is that something I want to watch? As a man, can I watch my woman
pleasure herself? Yes, exactly.
By this over here?
Exactly. And that could be a great experience too, because to be honest, we actually get more out of you watching us too, as well as doing it ourselves. And people don't even and people don't even think that people think that they we got an episode on that too, y'all. So stay tuned for that one. But we do have a situation where we be like, if a man is actually watching you and he enjoying you pleasure yourself, it does something to both of us, but definitely for the woman, it does do a lot. But
And I just saw some things up front when I came in that I'm gonna leave out with. So just know
you're gonna stop at the store.
Stop on the store. Absolutely.
At Triple J's Boutique.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that the stigmatism that sex before marriage, that religion has come into play, is really, what is religion now?
Right.
How, okay, we go to church, but I can go on YouTube and see the same very pastor that is telling me I'm living wrong.
Living wrong.
Exactly.
I can see it.
Yeah. And that's why we have to remember.
Even if it's not sex, because one sin ain't bigger than the other. So that's what people need to realize.
Right.
Sin is a sin.
Right. Because we already done sin when we lusting for that person that we thinking about having sex with anyway. So it's like, if you already there, you already done messed up. I'm not saying that you should continue to sin and say, you know what, well, I'm already sinning, so let me continue. No, but we do have a forgiving God. If you believe in him, then you know. Right. We do have a forgiving God, and yes, we will be forgiven.
He understands.
But at the end of the day, yes, we do. And hell, we fall really short these days. But you just have to, that's the relationship you have to have with him too as well. And for each his own that needs to make good decisions, like I said, these are the days where people just don't believe in waiting. And the reason why is because it's so much hidden agenda these days. Yep. Why is this person, and it's not even always about sex. To be honest, we're saying, should you test it out before marriage? But should you test it all out before marriage?
Absolutely.
Should you see if this person is only for
situation?
Yeah, what does this person want you for?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why are you sticking around? I know I'm not the greatest thing out there.
Shit. But I tell you like this now, if I look at you one of the damn best candidates, that we see, that of course, me and you, we real close. But if I look at your situation, of course I'm gonna be like, shit, Wood, yes, Wood, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna dial that number and I'm gonna try to figure out how can I get him to like me, because I am looking at the outside of Wood. I'm not looking at just you. I'm looking at everything you got going on for yourself. The nice rides, the nice home, everything that you got going, the good job. People gonna look at that. Right. Because that's all they see in the beginning is the outside. Now to decide if I want to get to know you more is at the next level. And
now I got a question. Mr. Wood. Now, okay, you done tested it out. And you try to coach her, you try to teach her things, and she still is not getting it. It just, in that area, it ain't working.
So is she unable or is she unwilling?
We gonna say both.
She's both? Then...
But what is she unwilling in and what is she unable? Because then this could be a reason. Okay, is she unwilling to have oral sex? She just don't want to do it because that's just something she don't want to do. But if
Okay,
she
so we can
unable,
say she was unwilling because she didn't know how to do oral.
Okay.
Then you teach her how you like it.
Mm-hmm.
She still don't like it.
Okay, so that's a very sticky situation because that leads one to believe that, okay, he left me, or if the roles were reversed, she left me because I wasn't into oral sex. Okay.
but what would be
what's your solution to that? Okay, you don't like doing it, but I love it.
where the compromise come in?
Yeah,
right?
what's the
Where's
compromise?
the compromise?
Are you going to do it on
Special occasion.
special occasions? Are you going to do it
I got
once
you
a month?
I got you for your birthday, boo boo, holidays.
If that's what it is, then okay.
We got that 3 day.
But she liked to receive it.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's
So that's
where
a
I
red
think
flag.
It's a red flag because that's something that is so I'm gonna say it. It's so immature
Yes.
because all right, you like to receive it, but you don't like to give it.
Oh, maybe she just don't like giving it to you.
So
Then-
if you don't like
Because
giving it
what
to
if
me,
she did that before?
if you don't like giving it to me, guess what? Let me get someone that is willing to give it to me, and you can go find that person that you like giving it to.
Because sometimes that'd be an issue too. Sometimes women, are not attracted to me in that sense. And when I say it like that, that means okay, you might check all the boxes. Like I said, you might be that perfect man. But when it comes down to sex, you just ain't feeling that person like that. You be like, okay, well, I don't mind having sex with him, that's fine. But when it's time for oral sex,
You don't.
I'm not
That's how I
attracted
am
to
when
him
it comes
with
to
him.
uncooked sausage.
I
But
have
at
a
the end
friend
of the
that-
day, I'm not, either I have to think of someone else, I got to think of Morris Chestnut. I'm always say Morris, if you're listening, boo boo. No, I'm just playing. But, you always got to, you visualize someone else, or you're doing something to either get through it because you're not attracted. Is it because you're not attracted to him, or is it the penis? Because sometimes it be the way the penis look too. Sometimes
Right, I don't like
women,
uncooked sausages, so that would never happen.
Okay.
I just
Turn
to
off
be
the lights.
honest. Nope.
No.
Uncooked sausages. What is an uncooked sausage? The color of it?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
But see, that's something that you're not attracted to.
Well, I like my
Right.
skin.
So-
I like my meat with the skin
Cause I
pulled
like
back.
chocolate boys.
So but you're not getting into a situation where, unless a person has vitiligo or something,
Right.
Where
She is.
no,
But
I'm
she
not
asked
saying-
vitiligo,
I know.
yeah.
Right.
It's not like you're gonna get to a situation where it's like
You pop up and like, wow, he
fooled you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
right.
it is
So
what it
that's
is.
different,
Yeah,
right?
So that's completely
Now,
different.
like I
Now,
said, me
if
liking
you
my
say-
meat. Like I said, I like my meat with the skin pulled back. My thing is now that could be a surprise.
Yeah, that absolutely. If you're
Yeah.
uncircumcised,
Yes.
and it's like
And he didn't
here's
tell
the
me.
here's the anteater. Here it is.
Oh.
So what are we doing?
I
Surprise!
visualized that.
I did too. But see, that's what I'm saying. That's a surprise, and it's like, what you want me to do with that?
Right.
'Cause
It's
that ain't going in
definitely
mine.
gonna be one of those
But
situations.
see, and there's an easy way to correct that. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I know that you're not into that. I can pull my skin back if that's going to be an issue.
It gonna come back up though.
But
It's
I
germs.
was playing. No, actually, no. Now, if you read medically, they say that's the penis that's uncircumcised usually is the cleanest because the skin is what keeps them from having a lot of
Protecting.
bacteria. Yeah, but we're just not attracted to it because we're not used to
The
it.
visual-
We like the
visual
muscle. We
portion.
like that mushroom look tip. You know what I'm saying? And the bigger the better. You know.
I don't. Yeah.
But I do get what you say. I'm just
No,
joking.
it's no, honestly.
But
like,
you're right though. Like you said, it's a difference of being surprised and knowing what you're getting into.
That means you have a preference.
right.
yes, absolutely. So. As
So it's
far
like
as
this: if
you
you're going
saying
with a light skinned dude,
uncooked
you might be
sausage,
taking a chance of one that's not that cooked that well because he's light skinned. So you don't know. Sometimes you're tanned in the face a little bit more, and then the body's much lighter. So you're gonna have to make sure you okay with you know what complexions you prefer.
Right.
That's your choice.
True.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
that's an easy fix.
That is an
because
easy
you're
fix.
dealing with the exterior. You know what I mean? It's like, boom, I know I like this here. This is within my range that I'm attracted to.
Right.
Versus you showing up and this dude's 6'8" and he's
Or
not
you
there.
with a woman and you know she has these, you know, this exterior that makes her look like she has big breasts and a
No.
big body.
She take that
but
shirt
then
off.
she
I'm-
take
I'm
the
a
clothes
She
off.
flat.
Them pads come out and everything. You be like, what
Yeah.
the
You have
hell?
a story for this.
I have a story.
All right,
So-
Jack, come on now.
When I was in the military, I was stationed in the Midwest. Way, way, way up there. Hell with Midwest. It was northern too. So there was this girl that I would see in the bar all the time. And I'm like, yo, I just want to see her titties. Like, everything
Okay.
looked great there.
I could be like
her,
that
her
when I
ass
see a
was
man.
flattened in the front door.
Okay.
There was nothing there, but I'm like, I want to see these titties. So one night it happened, and I went to the bathroom, and I came back out, and she was laying in my bed with her shirt off, like no bra, no shirt, and I'm like, who the fuck is this in my bed?
Say where the titties go.
Where'd they go? Because those are just nipples. Those are just nipples right there. And I feel so bad for this, but that's what attracted me to
Right,
her.
so that's through, yeah.
And she could tell it when we locked eyes. She's like, yeah, they don't look the way they do in the club. And I'm like, no, they don't.
Was the hell with
Not
no
at all.
special lights on and shit?
Yo, she
I'm trying to figure this
wore
illusion.
2 padded bras.
Okay, and that made it lift up,
It
yeah.
gave it just enough cleavage to make it look like
She
something.
understood the assignment.
Oh, she
Right,
had
right.
the assignment.
She said,
And
I gotta give him the illusion of I ain't got no ass, but hey, baby.
yeah,
When you look at me from the front,
and I
Okay.
see her now, like
oh,
it was a while ago. You know, Facebook memories come up,
Yeah.
and she had liked one of my posts. I'm like, damn, let me see what she's up to. And she finally got. I saw her in a bathing suit. She finally got her titties done, and I'm like, there you go. That's what I.
that's
thought
what
I
you was
getting.
looking for, okay?
As you was like, shit, okay, I ain't trying to lay up with no dude, shit.
No. I
The
can deal with a
cherries,
lot.
you
Yeah.
want cherries?
That it just turned me way the fuck off, and I'm like, that's false advertisement. Like, if my dick is little,
Believe
there's
me, we
nothing I
know
can
about
do.
false
Exactly.
There's nothing
advertisement.
I can do. And
Like we joke about them gray sweat pants all
all
the time,
the
but
time.
sometimes it don't. The eyes they don't be true.
I'm gonna tell you,
It's an illusion in them pants.
Mhm.
I'm a grower, not a shower.
Ooh.
So I know my lane. I know my lane. Listen,
He said, I know how far to go.
I don't listen. My gray sweats I might only wear in the house, but once you get in the
He
house,
said, "I'm a
I'ma
grower,
deliver that
not a
wood.
shower."
So we good then.
There go his
I-
name, ladies.
I just
That's
gotta,
where
I
the
just
name
gotta
come
lure
from.
you in here. That's all. But I know I am a grower, not a shower. I'm okay with that. I don't have the option to go pull off another dick off the shelf or nothing like that. What I got is what I got.
And you know what?
And that's
I
all
mean,
we do.
and,
He
you
work
know
with what
what?
he get.
You know, and ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, you definitely honest, and that's fine. But and also too, you like you said, you know, the key word is you're a grower, and so we
And not a
okay with the
shower.
grower part. Cause as long as you grow, we good now. But if that was your growth, it might be a
But
problem.
he also probably is not a man that talk shit.
exactly, you know.
No, I don't talk.
And that's a good thing too. Most men who don't talk, they can show you better than they can tell you. And then some who do a lot of
He know once he
right.
gets you across that threshold, he understands the
He-
assignment.
exactly. And whatnot. But man, Wood, we really appreciate you coming
We're not
on
done,
our
are we?
podcast. You got something
got
else to
some
talk
No, we
about?
got nowhere to go. We got more to talk about. I'm just getting going.
But we gonna but this one we will be closing up though, because we will say this much. It was definitely great to have you on. this podcast show.
Well, I look forward to the next one. I hope I'm invited back.
Of course.
For sure.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know.
Y'all got me interested in this.
Yeah, definitely. And we definitely appreciate it.
Again, y'all can find us on all digital outlets that shows podcast, or you can Google us at Unfulfilled by Denise and Denise. Thank you for joining. Bye.
Bye.